On a bitterly cold December morning in a small town just outside of Chicago, the wind howled through cracked window panes, and frost clung to the glass like delicate lace. Inside Lincoln Elementary, Ms. Evelyn Carter, a soft-spoken fourth-grade teacher with kind eyes and a heart far too big for her modest salary, noticed something that would change her life forever. His name was Liam. A quiet, sweet-natured boy with cerebral palsy, Liam struggled to keep up with his classmates. His legs, stiff and uncooperative, made recess a lonely ordeal. But what struck Evelyn that morning wasn't his isolation, it was his thin, threadbare jacket. A jacket so light it seemed a cruel joke against the wind's sharp teeth. Evelyn's heart ached as she watched him shiver, his small hands red and raw. She knelt beside him during lunch and asked gently, "Where's your winter coat, sweetheart?" Liam shrugged, avoiding her gaze. "I don't have one," he whispered. That night, Evelyn couldn't sleep. She thought about her own childhood, how her mother worked 2 jobs just to keep food on the table, and how a neighbor once left a warm coat on their porch with a note that read, "For the days too cold to bear alone." She still remembered the color of that coat. Navy blue. The next morning, Evelyn drove to a nearby department store. She found a thick, insulated parka in Liam's favorite color, forest green. She bought matching gloves and a hat. It wasn't charity. It was simply kindness, the kind the world forgets too easily. She gave it to Liam discreetly after class, pretending it was something the school had in storage. But kindness, it seemed, wasn't welcome everywhere. 3 days later, Evelyn was called into the principal's office. "Miss Carter," Principal Daniels began, his face tight with the kind of authority people wear like armor. "We have policies regarding personal gifts to students." "You overstepped." Evelyn blinked, confused. "You didn't have a coat. It's below freezing." "We have systems in place. You should have filed a report. You can't involve yourself personally in this way." Evelyn was given a formal reprimand. Then, 2 weeks before Christmas, she was let go. Budgetary concerns, they said. Liability risks. Legal jargon dressed up to disguise what it was, a punishment for compassion. Word spread quickly through the town. Some parents supported the decision, others were furious. Evelyn, heartbroken but resolute, packed her classroom with tears blurring her vision. But stories have a way of traveling farther than we expect. A local journalist picked up the story, writing a small piece titled, "Teacher Fired for Buying Coat for Disabled Student." It caught fire online, shared by thousands, then millions. Celebrities tweeted about it. Advocacy groups reached out. Kindness, it seemed, was contagious. Then came the call. A representative from a global children's charity, Hearts Without Borders, phoned Evelyn late one evening. They'd read her story. They were inspired. "We're flying you to New York," the woman said. "There's someone who wants to meet you." Confused and overwhelmed, Evelyn boarded a small jet weeks later, the world outside dusted in fresh snow. She landed at a private airstrip, where cameras flashed and reporters gathered. Waiting for her was a man she recognized immediately, billionaire tech entrepreneur and philanthropist, Aiden Cross. "Miss Carter," he greeted, shaking her hand warmly. "I was that boy once. The kid with no coat." He explained how a kind woman had once given him a jacket when he was 7. How he'd never forgotten it. "What you did wasn't small," Aiden said, his voice thick with emotion. "It was everything." He handed her an envelope. Inside was an offer, a position on the board of his charity, leading education initiatives for underprivileged children across North America. A 6-figure salary. Full benefits. The chance to build programs that would ensure no child faced a winter unprotected. Tears spilled down Evelyn's cheeks. But the surprises weren't over. Aiden gestured to a nearby car. "Someone's here to see you." Out stepped Liam and his mother, flown in secretly for the occasion. Liam's face lit up when he saw her. He wore the forest green coat, a little snug now but still proudly his. "Thank you for my coat," he said shyly. "It makes me feel brave." Evelyn knelt, hugging him tightly. In that moment, the bitter December air felt a little warmer. The story closed with Evelyn standing beside Liam on a makeshift stage, speaking to a crowd of journalists and supporters. "Kindness doesn't need permission," she said. "It doesn't require a policy. It simply asks, can you help? And if you can, you must." The audience erupted in applause. By spring, Evelyn's story had sparked a nationwide movement. Schools implemented new compassion-driven programs. Communities set up coat drives. And somewhere, in every small town, a child facing the cold was a little less alone.